What's going on, guys? I'm here and it's time. I haven't uploaded a video. I was kind of waiting for the update. Once I realized the update was coming out, I got a video coming out afterwards that's gonna blow your mind. Kind of, probably not really. Anyway, I wanted to go, we're gonna go down and then back up because now they have, yes, they have everything now. There's some of these cards I think that they didn't showcase before, but now we get to look at everything. Of course, I want to briefly go over KAYN, and I mean, why even call him KAYN at this point? It's KAYN into Rost. This is so booty cakes, but I was hoping that maybe they would drop something, and I apologize for the air conditioning. It's hot. I really apologize, but what is this? If I apologize for my air conditioner that you might hear here in the back, they should apologize for Shadow Assassin. First, what is this? I don't want to spend too much time on it, but this makes no sense. My thing that I was talking about with a friend is that it should at least have double attack. I think that would have made more sense to make it more that he does that, and then maybe make this strike every time he strikes, which is the same thing as attack, but then it can be prevented by, you know, chump blocking and stuff like that. But he's elusive, so maybe if they gave him something like that, or maybe if he give him like a quick attack, and then if he does damage and without taking damage himself, he auto kills the target, like an incinerate kind of something like that. Just something that makes more sense with his character. Him being an elusive challenger makes no sense. He has no way to heal himself. He's a assassin, so the last thing you want to do within challenging is take damage yourself. That's not how his character works. I feel like they fell asleep on this one. Like, look at all, like, he even, the Darkin Rast actually retained some of the old KAYN stuff. It almost makes it seem as that that's the natural order of things, and in a sense it is. But if you know the lore of KAYN, I'm sorry I'm on a tangent, but if you know the lore of KAYN, the Shadow Assassin version is actually KAYN controlling the power, and Rast is the demon Darkin inside the thing taking over. So the Shadow Assassin was always supposed to be the more skillful one. Meanwhile, Rast is just like the more hubba, you know, easy cakes word, and that's how it is in the game. He's very easy. He's way easier to use. He heals himself, so you build him tanky. But they bumped on this. Like, he just gains attack. Like, it's so boring of a design. They definitely should add more to it. Like, or maybe every death that he causes, he gains stats, or he gains additional attack if he kills a thing. He rallies. Something that makes it that he attacks more and he actually ends the game. He's not ending the game just because he's elusive and he's building stacks. Like, that just doesn't... it doesn't happen. There's not enough attacks that you can do that actually do that. If it was, like I said, if it was strike, and you can maybe bring in Demacia, and then he can attack more, and then he can gain more stats, and then he becomes a threat. Or maybe he's able to do a free attack, which he can, I think, with the where is it? Where is it? Yeah, the champion spell that he has, but it gives him quick attack. He starts a free attack and he challenges an enemy, but then he's challenging an enemy. He's not doing anything, and this one doesn't have overwhelm, so yes, it's trash. Anyway, let's see. So here we go, and equip ally strikes an enemy, boom, and there he goes. That would be another way that would work. I think strike would make way more sense with that. Maybe they could change it. Maybe if enough people complain. This is the Darkened Ballista. It turns into this. The round end, this thing strikes. This would be cool if you can get this with regeneration somehow. So it is a infinite, strong, just thing that just sits on the field and just clears the field every turn. Clears a strongest enemy every turn would be awesome. Momentous choice. I don't think we saw this. Give an ally +1 or 0, or give it 8 attack or HP. This round, if you have an equipped an ally this round, play a copy of me on the same target, so they get double. Okay. And that's Ionia. This is actually a great Ionia card. So you can, as long as you've done one equip, it's going to give +2. So that's pretty cool. It's going to give +2 to attack or to defense, depending on what you've played. It's burst speed as well. And it's a cultist card, which is great. So we can play it in the whole cultist nonsense. What's also weird is that this is a dark... No, I think the card is... Yes, the card is the equipment. I'm about to say you can't play this in a deck, but you can. All right, so Tempting Prospect we saw. Pick a follower equipment with it from the top 4 cards in the deck. Draw it, place the rest into your deck. That's cool. Pick a follower from the... So pick a follower from the top 4 cards and draw it. That's actually insane. So this can't pick allies, but in certain decks this is amazing. You, for 1 mana, you get a card. You can get a card or equipment. I like this card. I think that I would play this in a lot. It's a cultist card too, which is weird that it's not on the top. Is that how they do all of them? Yes, they do. I like that this is I would love this in a Demacia deck, so you can, for 1 mana, especially if you bank the mana, you get a follower in your hand. Can't draw champions, but it's still pretty good. This is the card I think is nuts. Once you equip an ally this game, this thing gets Scout. 4/3 tough Scout, yeah. And you thought, for the people talk about Kaiser, I'm just letting you know, bam, in your face. Now Kaiser on curve This is 4 mana. KAYN on 5. In Demacia, it now has a tough scout that she can do instead of Valor, and this is a way strong. Yes, you don't get Challenger, but half the time you don't really need Challenger, and there's other ways to give KAYN a Challenger anyway. This is absolutely amazing, and I feel like this will make KAYN's deck way stronger once this actually drops out. I feel like this will drop her into another tier back. If she lost any momentum, I think this card brings her back into it. Just saying. Forsaken Bakaya, nice predict card, 1 mana predict, and it doesn't have to be that stupid landmark. It can actually be a body that you can play. And if you happen to pick a Darkin equipment, if it fits into that deck, if there's other Darkin or equipments that fit into Shurima, then great, you get this thing to be +1/+1. Awesome. I think this card's amazing. This card to me is going to be like Bard in Vandal City. You just pick it because it's just a really good card. Heedless Resurrection. Once you've equipped an ally this game, I cost 2 less. Fine. 3 mana. Revive the strongest dead ally champion. 3 mana. Revive that champion. Again. I'm thinking it's looking pretty spicy. Look at these two. How did no one talk about KAYN? This is KAYN. This is KAYN nonsense. Oh, you kill KAYN, 3 mana, bring her back. And if I read KAYN, if I'm not specifically, when she's summoned or when you have the attack token and she's summoned, she gets her second skin. So yeah, good luck with that. And I'm just saying because people complain about KAYN so much that yeah, she's still strong. And if she's weak now, she'll be strong once the expansion comes out. At least I'll make her strong. My barrier is a dragon. This card's cool. As they showed, now that the thing now becoming a dragon, there's other synergies that you can do with that. But only certain cards I think will do that unless they add more cards that synergize with dragons. There are a couple of spells I think in Demacia that have like, oh, if this card's a dragon, it does XYZ. So I guess there's some synergy with that, but it's just, I think it's just the cool thing is that it's a 4 mana +3/+3, and I think it's like almost burst speed, right? The equipments are burst speed, like you just play it and it attaches immediately. I don't think that there is a thing. It's like playing a unit pretty much, but it's just good, right? Then we have the Treasure of the Sands, which only comes from this thing, which is Buried Armory landmark. Countdown 2, create a Treasure of the Sand, which is this 3 mana 4/4. This would be interesting. Maybe if you can write a passage this and maybe keep getting it and then giving a thing 4/4. Remember, the equipment comes back to the hand at all times. And I think, and unlike this one, this would be a created card, right? So you would create this, and this would have synergies with like a Victor or something like that. Very interesting on how Victor is going to work with some of these things. Great Hammer. This is giving Overwhelm in Demacia. Sorry, in Noxus. 2 mana, give anything that you want Overwhelm. That's fantastic. The Jagged Cutlass, I cost 2 less, so this can be a 1 mana equip. And then you could bounce it around, which is pretty cool because equipped and attach are the thing. I actually want to see equipped and attach in the same deck. I think that would be very interesting to see, to run like the attach, so maybe Vandal City and then run KAYN, and then maybe there will be a meta by switching and maneuvering around the equipments. Like people think that attach is going to be dead. I think that equipped and attach, and that's the main reason why I'm doing this video, so I could have a I told you so moment, because I actually predicted Bard and Zed to be very strong. I predicted Bard to be extremely strong, and I feel like I wish I had did a video on it because I predicted it completely correctly based on how he worked. And then hold this thing. Look, he gets +1/+1 this is just infinitely better. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. And then yeah, you may put cultist cards into your deck during deck building. So it has to be cultist cards. So not all the equipments are cultist cards, right? So there's still like a lot of these cards they even revealed here are not going to be able to be put into a KAYN deck. This one can because it says cultist. This one's a cultist. This one is darkened. So if you wanted to run this, you'd actually have to go into Noxus to run this card with all the nonsense, right? Just so we're all clear, it has to be a cultist card. Any card that says a cultist. So that's interesting. So we have to keep our eyes out for stuff like that. Now here goes the new cards that they dropped, right? So Silence and Suppress. Destroy a unit's equipment, and if it's a follower, silence it. That's cool. So they're already bringing out some ways to counter it. It's in Demacia. I almost would have thought that would have been Targon, but Demacia does have all of the fuck mage stuff. So I guess I'm not too surprised. It's like equipments. That's mage. It's magic. We do not like magic. And it's 1 mana, so it's not too aggressive or anything like that. And it destroys the equipment as well. I wonder if this will have any destroy or synergies with anything like that. There's not, you know, I guess it's mostly slay that has synergy, but not destroy. And that's cool. It also, you get a free silence if it's a follower. So there's some meta behind that. Next up, we have Hex Bliberator. Can I click these? No, I can't. Hex Bliberator, 6 mana fast speed, so it's, oh yeah, Jace. Everything you see something with 6 mana, it's Jason Lux synergy. I don't know why people even do that with Jason. Like Jace, yes, makes sense. But Lux, I feel like doesn't always need everything to be exactly 6 mana. Like I feel like she's good in a deck where you just play a bunch of spells. You don't. But hey, what do I know? Deal 5 damage to a unit. If I kill it, obliterate it. This is amazing. Oh, it's like a Teemo dummy that just gets destroyed. Poor Teemo. Well, fake Teemo. This is awesome. This is great because it allows you to instantaneously kill something and obliterate it till it's dead forever. It's freaking dead. This is obviously to kill last breath stuff. This is obviously to kill, not just to counter. This is the hollowed counter, but what it's really good at doing, personally, it's really good at preventing stuff like that from happening. If they are running some type of revive strategy, it makes me scared that they might be driving a bunch of revive stuff. Especially, let's say, just for the shits and giggles of it, you have this card here. If you obliterate the first champion that they play, guess what? It never died. And it's dead, and they can't bring it back in any way, shape, or form. This also might just be something more in a, you know, maybe it's a Path of Champions thing. 6 mana deal 5, still pretty good though. I think that that's pretty nice, and if it gets reduced in any way, then it's 5 mana deal 5. If it dies, it has a bonus effect attached to it. That's good on good. I don't know how many decks could run it. Like Jace would just duplicate it, so it's 6 manas for 10. I don't think that that's completely necessary. I think more silencing stuff would be more sense with all the buffs and stuff that people are getting. But maybe this will be a thing that you play, or maybe it's good for Karma that she doubles it up and, you know, the 10 man. I don't know. I think it's okay, but I think it depends on what scenarios do you need to have the obliterate, or is 5 damage for 6 mana and it's fast. Why would you need that, I guess? Next up is going to be Loaded Vessel. Loaded Vessel, deal 2 to a unit, draw 1 at the next round start for each damage dealt and give them fleeting. Woo! Okay, that's awesome. So this is like Keg. This actually also synergizes with, and maybe that's why they toned down the Raven Blue Conservatory. So let's say this is dealing 2. You're gonna draw 1 at the round start for each damage dealt. So this at least is a 5 mana next turn draw 2, and it's in Bilgewater that synergizes with Twisted Fate. So let's say if you are running a thing, you make this 3 damage, right? Deal 3 damage because Tybulk was played. Now it's a 3 mana, draw 3, and it's dealing damage to a unit. Even if the opponent doesn't have a unit, you can use it on your own unit to draw 3 next turn. And yes, they're fleeting, but that still allows you to maybe hyper level Twisted Fate. It allows in a Chime deck, you know, especially since Chimes are now delayed. That's a lot of draw power that they're getting. There's a lot of implications I feel like this card can do. It's still 5 mana, draw 2 next turn, but it is counterable because draw at each damage dealt. So if you're tough or anything like that, I think also Spell Shield would make this a 5 mana deal damage to 2, and it does nothing. So it's very dangerous of a card, especially if Spell Shield becomes more popular. You have to be very careful. I do like the design of it though. I think it gives aggro or pinging decks a little bit more draw power, which is always nice. The Catalyst version 1, your spells and skills deal extra damage, 3 mana from, oh my god, this is synergized with that automatically, right? Your spells and skills deal 1 extra damage. Now this is something that you're slapping onto a unit, hopefully a unit that's going to stay around a lot, and it's just going to amplify everything. That's awesome. It's in Piltover, which does the pings that makes your Mystic Shots 2 mana deal 3, which is kind of nuts, right? And anything else that does that, it just sits there. It's a really cool card, and if it happens to die, it comes back to the hand. Now this is something you have to put into your deck, so there has to be a lot of payoff for that, right? There has to be a lot of payoff that you would have to basically throw 3 mana for. And remember, this does take spell mana, so you can bank 3 mana and then slap it on and then start doing some crazy stuff. So I do like this a lot. I like it a lot. So that's pretty cool. Noxian Defector. Attack, grow my power to that of the strongest equipped ally this round. And that's grow my power, so that's permanent. I think that, yeah, it's a cultist. Noxian. What is all these Noxian people stealing everything? You would think that, I don't know, that's like Piltover or something like that, like they're stealing innovation, but these Noxian, this is the other deserter was stealing stats from everything, which also I'm very curious. Legion Deserter, right? I'm very curious if that actually works with KAYN, right? Because KAYN's exact level up text when he levels up is this: transform me in all copies of me. No, it has to, oh, they were smart, so it doesn't say KAYN's everywhere or something like that. that would have been crazy, because then you would have had a way to, if you ran Noxus, which Noxus seems to be like akin to this deck, that would have been cool if you actually could just get more Kayns, but they would get transformed immediately, right? So it wouldn't, you know, you would just end up with a signature spell. Wouldn't work too much, but it would be interesting to see if it worked like that. So the power of the stat of the strongest equipped ally this round. So they both basically they become the same power, not health, but just power. So he has 4 health, so he's not that bad. I think he's okay, nothing too crazy. Next up, Mistfall. Ione getting another landmark. What are they trying to catch up to Shurima? When I'm summoned, drawn equipment. Woo! That's nice. That is cute. And then you can manipulate that really strong. Like this is, you know, with the bouncing effect of things, and maybe get an equipment back. The first time each round an unequipped ally is equipped, refill 1 spell mana and grant them +1. Are they trying to have like a ever-flowing equipment thing? Because remember, you can, just for example, you can put an equipment on something else that has an equipment, and it will bounce the equipment off, and then you can equip something else. You can swap the equipments around very easily. I am curious of where all these equipments, or where the best equipment so far. I mean, the Darkened Scythe is amazing, and so is the Shadow Scythe. I feel like it's funny. Yes, it can go on him, but I actually feel like it'd be better on a ton of other units, right? It definitely feels like it would be better on a bunch of other units that really want to gain power, that already have Overwhelm. So I'm very curious if that's even a thing. Cool. I like this card, and obviously it's in different decks, right? And also remember, from what I can remember, the equipments recall themselves when they bounce off, so that maybe there's a recall synergy. Maybe this will actually synergize with something like Ahri, you know, because Ahri, I think when cards get recalled, they actually, when she's leveled, right, they I don't know if it's just followers, but if they recall and they cost 1 less, so it could be a really cool combo that you can come with that. And then last but not least is going to be the Shadowblade Fanatic. Quick attack. Once you've equipped an ally this game, create a Shadow Fiend in hand. I'm assuming when you just regularly play this card, once you've equipped an ally this game, create a Shadow Fiend in hand. Yeah, when you just summon it, or I guess when you play it, you just get a free Shadow Fiend. And the Shadow Fiend, if I'm not mistaken, is that big monster again, which does synergize with the equipments, right? You could put an equipment on the Shadow Fiend because he costs 1. And just for example, let's just take one of these equipments. Let's say you just give him this. It's a 3 mana play. The Shadow Fiend would be a 6 whatever the hell, 6 mana whatever the hell for 3 mana, and it has Overwhelm, and you have to, the opponent pretty much has to block it. And you can infinitely summon like a Shadow Fiend. What's crazy about Shadow Fiend? Can I do that? Let me activate my. I don't know why it wouldn't let me just type in Shadow Fiend, but there, boom, there it is. So Shadow Fiend, like I said, 4 mana. Sorry, 1 mana 4/3, and then if you equip it with something, it's a very low. And there's other cards that create Shadow Fiends. These are great blockers, so stuff that you can summon on your opponent's turn, just to be like, hey, bro, if you want to attack, by all means. By all means, you could attack it to this 4/3. And ephemerals are really annoying like that. They're usually low mana, so you don't have to commit too much, and you're able to block some stuff, and then while maintaining your other engines or stuff like that on the board. Like even this 3 mana 5/5, you know, like this thing is kind of nuts. I'm almost assuming that there will be a lifesteal equipment, by the way. I definitely I'm feeling that in the air. There might be there might even be a scout equipment if they dare to do that. I don't think that they will, but you know, I think that this card right here is pretty good for a card to generate, and then you can slap an equipment on it just for quick burst damage or to help you defend or something like that, especially if, like I said, if lifesteal becomes an equipment. And they have to be careful what they give to Ionia, because Shen is already stupidly strong, and the more support that they give to Ionia, the stronger that deck could become by running even. That's where the Bard aspect will come in, because Bard is a true support to the game. He just makes every deck that he's in better. So I do think that the fact that's why Shen Bard is so strong. I do think that Shen and Demacia is still better, but I think that if they keep printing Ionia support, it will be more beneficial to just slap in Bard, you know, to just have like a broken Shadow Fiend in the hand that can, you know, stuff like that. Anywho, that's gonna be it for me. I don't want the video to be too long. What do you guys think about these changes? What are you excited for, and why? Hopefully there's enough complaints and maybe they'll change the boy blue blue Shadow Assassin KAYN to make him actually playable on launch, or everyone's just gonna go Rast. Anyway. Or you know what, people will just play it just to get his equipment, and you'll never see him again. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace.